But first, the biggest ever Russian polar expedition, Arctic 2007, has reached the North Pole and is on its way down to explore the seabed. The mission hopes to prove that a large underwater shelf, possibly rich in oil and gas, is part of Russian territory. Russia Today's correspondent Dmitry Glukovsky is travelling with the expedition and sent us this report.
It is on the 9th day of the voyage that nuclear icebreaker Rossiya arrived to the 19th parallel. A long-awaited moment, met with common cheering and a modest celebration. Finally, we have reached it, the North Pole, the destination of our expedition. It is here that it will culminate with the historic dive of two Russian submarines, Mir 1 and Mir 2. For now, everything is getting ready for it. Having congratulated the crew of Rossiya, the expedition leader Artur Chelingarov got a helicopter to hop to the second ship, the research vessel Akademik Fedorov. It is there that he explained to Russia Today what's planned to happen next.
Before diving, we have to study all the risks. We're installing all the location captors and transmitters. The conditions are very difficult and it's very dangerous. I feel a great responsibility for the lives of everyone who's coming down with me.
At the North Pole's seabed, the Mir subs will install Russian state flag made of titanium and a capsule with an address to the next generations of polar researchers. Mr. Chelingarov says, for Russia his expedition is important both scientifically and politically. The aim is to show Russia isn't giving up on its interests in the Arctic. Chelingarov also happens to be the deputy speaker of the Russian parliament, and the Duma elections are due in this autumn. Despite its proclaimed political goals, the expedition was mostly financed by private sponsors, such as the European pharmaceuticals tycoon Fredrik Paulsen. Paulsen says he's proud of financing the trip, disregarding of its political motives.
I think Russia needs to come back on the polar scene. The Russian Federation needs to invest more money into science in the polar regions. It's essential. It's essential from a ecological point of view, it's essential from a political point of view, and it's essential from a biological point of view.
Paulsen is in for the record-breaking dive as well. He'll be in the second sub, Mir 2, that is set to follow the first one to the depth of 4,300 meters. The most difficult part of the dive is to find an ice-free window, once the Mir subs are coming up.
During the first dive it was much more difficult. We only had one hydroacoustic capture installed and it had taken us a lot of time to get out of the ice. But in the real dive we'll have 3 of them installed and it will become much easier to orientate ourselves underwater.
Taking a hop back in a chopper, that's how it works. Nuclear icebreakers such as Rossiya are absolutely indispensable for this kind of expedition. The last hundreds of kilometers before the North Pole, the ice is getting thicker and thicker, reaching 200 centimeters. Rossiya is actually sailing straight on the ice. It's putting all of its huge mass straight on it and it's crushing it. Behind it lives quite a narrow strip of ice-free water. It's just 10 meters wide, and the research vessel Akademik Fedorov has to follow us very closely and very precisely. But it didn't like this. Over the last couple of days, Akademik Fedorov got blocked for several times in the ice field, so Rossiya had to come back and to free it. And during the dive it has to go in rounds, preventing the ice from growing back. At least for 8 hours. That's the time schedule for the dive. But no one would dare to predict the exact timing of the sub's return. Dmitry Glukovsky, Russia Today, the North Pole.